Good evening, everyone. It's finished. FA Cup third round replay. Bristol City 1, West Ham United 0. Giant killers, Bristol City, or cause an upset, whatever you call it. It looks like we are the only Premiership team to go out. Is it the FA Cup? I think so far. Someone's telling me, it might be wrong, but yeah, they beaten us. I thought that was going to happen anyway after watching what happened after we went 1-0 up London Stadium. And yeah, I just thought with what's happening around the club with the injuries and lots of other things I will go into, I thought we were going to lose this anyway, and that's kind of what happened really. So I didn't want to do the live thing because I really wanted to concentrate and have a dive back, and because there's lots of reasons why we've lost this today, instead of me screaming and swearing at just a one player or obviously the David Moyes thing. It's many reasons why we've lost today, and it's quite upsetting and lots of different things to talk about. So I just wanted to have a bit of peace and then just go through it without the distraction of the live chat and things like that really. So yeah, I've had 10, 15, 20 minutes to think about things and calm down a bit. But yeah, we all know what's happened. If I have a look at the kind of the stats with you guys, so I'm just going to share the screen. Let's go to the stats first. So we had 57% ball possession. They had 43%. I don't really like to look at goal attempts. I like to look at shots on goal. So we've had 2, they've had 5. So 2 shots on goal from West Ham United in 90 minutes. That's not really good. You look at the lineups, and when I saw it, I was quite angry. David Moyes. I didn't want to see Danny Ings up front by himself. Having said that, I thought he did a little bit more than I expected him to do. And same as the first game, he was running around a bit more than I expected him to do. Still not good enough, but we'll come into that. But yeah, I wasn't happy looking at that lineup with 1 up front. You got to play 2 up front, and yeah, that's where David Moyes has come short today. Fabianski in goal, not quite that clever. You can see that he's very slow in coming out, and that causes problems in 1 or 2 situations. Zuma is in the back. It's all right. Mavropanos, I don't know why this website's giving him such a high rating. I thought he's that mistake after 4 minutes is unforgivable, and it's not the first time he's done it. He's done it 2-3 times, and like I've just had enough of Agard from many months ago. I think I'm beginning to just confirm what I said about this guy, that he's not good enough. And this is in stupid games like Europa and some of the lesser opposition like today and in the Premiership. And yeah, he's just, for obvious reasons, he can't read the game. He's a bit clumsy. He's a bit of a clown. And I think that's another 18 million down the drain after 30 odd million down the drain from Agard, really. So he's just not good enough for me. Creswell, I don't know why he's still at the club. Nothing personal against him. But yeah, we'll come into him a bit in a different way. I want to talk about Creswell, what happened to him in the game. But just want to start off with the lineups. So obviously stats wise, not enough shots on goal. That's not acceptable. Lineup wise, Creswell shouldn't be anywhere near the team. Kefal was pushed up a bit, didn't see much from him. Ward-Prowse, few things here and there, not much. Souček, didn't see much from him. Emerson was trying to make things happen. Benrahma, my goodness, he's come down, isn't he? Missed penalties, 1 or 2 other things, and now it's kind of sending off really. So he's in an all-time low, just offering us less and less as each time we use him. And for me, he needs to go ASAP. Cornet, again, I might be controversial. I thought Cornet looked neat, looked tidy, tried to make things happen, didn't lose the ball much, nearly scored. I still got time for Cornet, right? But you stick him on the wrong side, and sometimes I'm thinking, is David Moyes doing it deliberately so you can tell the fans he's shit? I told you. I thought he was all right. Danny Ings missed at least 2 very, very good chances. It's just not happening for him, and he looks clumsy. The fans obviously on his back. he got more chances than I thought playing up front by himself, purely because with respect, Bristol City are not Premiership, but he obviously should have been a bit smarter in one or two situations, and he kind of wasn't really. So yeah, not enough shots on goal. Bit of a issue with the lineup from David Moyes in playing Danny Ings up front by himself and picking Cressy and one or two things, and obviously play some youngsters. They looked all right when they came on, I thought, in the second half, really. So I think David Moyes wasn't quite brave enough, and it's kind of... And I know I'm going to get stick from some people saying that you wanted David Moyes in, but I did mention that we got to see this transfer window, and I said that he needs to just brush up on 20-25%, 30%, where if he buys a striker, plays two up front, or certainly a striker up front, in terms of transfers, more of them come off, so we got stronger window. He uses more of the players outside the 11, so they're kind of up to speed. So when you've got Ben Johnson, you've got Cornet, they've hardly played all year. They're going to look rusty. Ings as well, and it's kind of come to bite him in the business end of the season. Really, we're not really there in the business end of the season, and I can't really. What can I say? Because the results in December have been fine. David Moyes is up there to win the Manager of the Month award, but you can clearly see he's fucked up a bit today, and he's got to improve on that. And if he stays stubborn throughout January and February, then the chances are going to be slim for his contract to be renewed. But we really need to have a really good January window in terms of getting these players out the door and getting some players in. And then, yeah, a lot of it's to do with playing strikers up front. It's a big issue for us. But if he's thinking that Antonio's on the way back, Bowen is a few weeks away and don't buy anyone again, then I'm going to be pulling my hair out again, really. So many issues why we lost this game today, including what we did in the first game. And it's to do with having a really poor squad, really poor bench, not playing two up front when we can against inferior opposition. Again, I say that with respect. Don't play Danny Ings by himself up front. So we don't end up with a lot of people who hardly played all year, and when you shove them in there together, you're going to get issues, really. The other problem is in terms of captain leaders, we don't have enough on the pitch. I saw Creswell getting thumped 2-3 times, and I was outraged. Without VAR, the refs have become very, very lazy, don't want to do anything, and we were being... Listen, I don't mind a bit of Sunday League, a bit of hard challenges. I mean, I think there was a high challenge on Danny Ings early on that didn't even warrant a yellow, which is kind of endangering some players sometimes. Cressy, you took a couple of thumps and the smacks around his face. Again, if we had a Billy Bonds type of captain, a leader, that wouldn't have happened. And yeah, it's sad to see that we don't have those. I don't think we're the only club, and I think football's got a problem around all of the leagues, Premiership. There's not enough tough men, but then tough men that have been pushed out of the game. You just have to look at a player, you get booked. So there's no more leaders like Billy Bonds, Alvin Martin, Julian Dix types that would have got into Bristol City and looked after their teammates. So no one said nothing. Cressy got roughed up, as well as one or two other players. Ben Rama, I don't really have much time for him. He didn't do anything anyway before the sending off. I think if it was a sending off, I think one of their players should have gone as well, whether it's for that incident or one of the others I spoke about. They should have definitely seen. There's no way Bristol City should have walked off that pitch with 11 men. I'm not making excuses, but it shouldn't have. But did they deserve it? Probably. Yeah, they were kind of more up for it than kind of we were. They roughed us up. We should have stood up to it. We should have given it a bit back to them. We didn't. We didn't have anyone of that kind of player to do it. That was very upset. I've watched football from the 80s, and it really hurt me to watch our players being duffed up all over the pitch. That was really hard to watch. Souček, CDM really didn't do anything. Alvarez would have been much better, but I heard he's got an injury as well. And yeah, so it's all to do with David Moyes' transfer dealings, not using the squad or not having any squad. It's down to him. Mistakes in terms of the selection of the lineup, the ambition to play more youngsters, play people up front, And then obviously, yeah, we don't have enough leaders. Zuma is the captain. I've told you many times. I think there should be someone else, whether that's Ward-Prowse or not, I don't know. And then I'm not really surprised. I'm upset. Of course I am. I love the FA Cup, but what we've gone out, we're at the League Cup. We're at the FA Cup. Well, we just got we got the Europa knockouts happening in late Feb, March, whatever. Sorry, February, March, and the draw's going to be made, I think, late Jan or very early Feb, I think, after the playoff games. And then, yeah, we were kind of 6th or 7th in the league, but I think that's just, I don't want to say it's luck, but I think that, that kind of flatters us a bit, I think. So you've got big teams behind us like Man United, Newcastle, in and around us, who I think I'm pretty sure they'll overtake us, I think. So we're probably looking at we are comfortably top 10, right? We'll slip to 9th. I can't see us being 6th or 7th or anything like that. So I think we will be about 9th or 10th, unless we really go on a bad run and lose 4 or 5 on a spin. I'm not sure. I think we do have a bit of a cushion. That's kind of where we are. So slightly better than last season. Obviously a lot more money spent. But yeah, out both of the cups, unfortunately. And so what's kind of worrying is really, the window seems to be very hard for everyone, not just us. So we're kind of halfway through that period. Got rid of Kehrer, and Conor Coventry's obviously gone. But in terms of people coming in, it looks like it's quite hard. I think I'll talk about the transfer window tomorrow. Actually, I don't want to talk about it today, but 1 or 2 targets who had seemed to be slipping away, I think, with competition, with the clubs all looking for the same kind of players and perhaps offering a bit more than what we have, that kind of thing, really. So it's kind of, it's not good. It's upsetting, especially when you don't really had a go. 2 shots on goal in the whole game, and it's piss poor. And I still think, with respect, that we should have beaten Bristol City, but we haven't. And out of all those reasons, if I had to pick the biggest one, I think it's got to be David Moyes. It's got to be David Moyes, where after 9 windows, he's ended up with no bench of any substance or quality or form or anything. And I think there's a big split between the bench, the squad, and the first 11s in terms of how well they get on with the manager. I don't see any confidence installed from him towards any of these Benrahma, Cornet characters and Johnsons and all those people. I don't see it. Or Cressy. They're out, and it's hard for them to come back in, and it has been for a lot of players. Well, if you're not in that 11 in this David Moyes setup, you're not going to get in. And he's not a man manager. He ain't going to put your arm around you and things like that. It's just the way he is. I like to work with a small squad, but mate, you've been lucky up to now with hardly any injuries, but now it's kind of, it's really hit us in the bum, isn't it, really? So those are my thoughts at the moment. And yeah, put your comments in the box. I will be doing a show tomorrow, a transfer show, and then we can talk a bit more about this game, perhaps sleep on it's always good, and we'll think about more things. And definitely want to interact with you guys in the live chat, and hopefully we'll do that tomorrow. Don't know what time. Transfer show will probably be done early, and then I'll do the Bristol City, another recap live a bit later on, late afternoon, I think, once all you guys have come back from work and that kind of thing. So let's talk about it tomorrow evening perhaps, and in the meantime I'll do the transfer show. So that's it from me. Quite deflated with the Jazz. It's Bristol City 1, West Ham United 0. It is what it is, really. So you guys have a nice evening. Take care.